Do you have any final points you'd like to share about managing the property, or anything that we didn't cover here?
I don't know. We covered a ton of
Yeah.
stuff.
Or any stories,
Yeah.
good or bad stories about management that might be useful for our listeners?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing I can pass on is don't be afraid to make a change. Right. Because just like the one student, he's like, well, what if I get somebody who's worse? Well, what if you get somebody who's better? You'll never know unless you actually take action. If you're not comfortable, if you're not happy, if you don't think they're doing a good job, they're probably not.
Hmm.
So don't be afraid to make a change. Now, you do need to make sure you read your contract with them. Sometimes if you can fire them for cause, like the cause that we had with the one guy who spent $4,000 when he was only allowed to spend $3,500 total, that was pretty easy. We fired him for cause. He was done. He was done. He was gone. But if you just have an uneasy feeling or you want to try somebody new, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to wait for your contract to terminate, and then of course give them the proper notice, and then have somebody else ready to move into their space.
Hmm.
I think I've actually covered a lot of the bad sides and the good sides, right?
Yeah.
Already. So I don't know if I have necessarily any more horror stories that I can share
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. No,
I
those were
think we
good.
kind of covered that throughout the
Uh-huh.
podcast.
Yeah. Well, good. We appreciate that. Yeah. Those are powerful because, kind of see what happens when you have a good manager versus a bad manager, the world of difference that it can make. So appreciate that.
Yeah, again, they will make or break you very, very quickly. So don't be afraid to make a change and get rid of the manager if you don't think they're doing a good job. And sure, if you find out that the next person you hire isn't doing as good of a job as the first one, then go to a third one, or you can always go back to the first one.
Well, thanks so much for sharing all that today. It was very, very valuable information. I think our audience is really going to benefit from that.
Yeah.
And what's the best way for our listeners to connect with you and learn more about you and what you do?
Thanks for asking. They can find me on the internet. I'm at successclasses.com or apartmentmentors.com. Either one, they both point to the same place right now, but successclasses.com. They can email me, Anthony at successclasses.com. And, we'd love to have them come out for some training. I do lots of different training, 1-day workshops, 4-day boot camps. So I love teaching people how to do this kind of stuff. And, this is all about acquisition. It's not just about after the fact, right? The property management, what we're talking about today is after you buy it. Well, how do you get to that point? So if people want to learn more about that, they can come check me out. I'd love to have them.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on today. Really appreciate it. Really
Bet.
valuable insights. And yeah. So thanks again, and hope you have a great rest of your day.